In today's video, I'm going to be covering the exact audit process that we use to help campaigns go from complete uninterested prospects to booked meetings on autopilot. Now, this is the same step-by-step process that we've used to help our clients book over 1,000 qualified sales calls. So let's dive into it. So this is the conversion model that we look to as a framework for our campaign success. Now, what this is referencing is a lead to meeting ratio of 1 to 1,000. That means that for every 1,000 net new prospects you reach out to, you book one qualified sales call. Now, this is the metric that we're looking to determine where in our process we need to adjust and which constraints we need to fix to continue to improve our conversions. Now, this number right here is what I'm referencing, and we're continuing to work this down. So the better you get at your cold email campaigns, the lower this ratio will be. So in general, right now in November 2024, 5% reply rates is going to be like our benchmark number. We're typically seeing anywhere from 1 to 5% as our typical reply rates. The better your offer, the better your replies will be. And so this is what you're targeting for. I'm going to just go through each of these numbers, and then I'm going to talk about if they're lower than this, how you're actually going to fix them. So let's consider like the actual replies. So if 5% of your prospects are replying, then you should expect at least 10% of them to be replying with some kind of positive intent. So what that means is, hey, I'm interested. I'd like to see more information. They're potentially asking a question about your pricing, about your case studies, about what it is you actually do. And so you can then use these positive replies as intent to book the prospect into a meeting. We'll do outreach with lead magnets, Loom video audits. We'll share other assets like video sales letters. And we're looking to see at least 50% of those like actual positive replies, they actually engage with the audits or with the lead magnet that we're providing to them. From there, we're expecting another 50% to book in. So if we have 50% of our positive replies, 50% are actually engaging with it, we're going to book 50% of those meetings into a call, and we expect 80% of those to show up. So if those numbers are not on track with what your campaigns are, now let's talk about how to actually fix them. So in terms of how this actually looks for a campaign, so assume you have 5,000 prospects, you should be looking for around 250 replies, of which 25 replies will be positive, 12 and a half people will engage with those lead magnets, and you'll book in 6 leads plus or minus, assuming an 80% show up rate. So that's going to be 5 meetings booked and attended. So these are the numbers and how it should look for you. Your results are going to vary, depends on campaign by campaign, vertical by vertical, offer by offer. But again, this is really like the framework and our guardrails to see, hey, are we on the right track? And we'll look at each step in this process to get better results, right? So now let's talk about exactly what to do to actually fix that. Okay, so let's look at each step and how you would actually audit it and what you would do instead, right? So if your replies are low, so this means if you're really getting below a 1% reply rate, you basically have a deliverability problem. So what that means is your messages are not actually getting into the inbox. You're having problems actually getting people to read your message. And so it usually has something to do with you're getting marked as spam too often, or your DNS settings, your domain settings are not properly set up. And as a result, that's going to have lower replies. So what you need to do then is just go back and review, make sure that your settings are proper. And if not, then just get some new ones and set up fresh new domains so you can keep getting into the inbox. Now, assuming your replies are okay, that's great. Now let's talk about like how you actually will improve your overall reply rates to make them more positive. So you want to look at offers or targeting if your positive reply rates are low. So assuming you're actually getting the inbox, assuming you're actually getting people to reply to your message, if they're not replying with positive intent, they're not interested, they don't want to hear more information, they're just telling you no, then that means that you have one of two issues, either offers or targeting. So with offers, it means that you're not giving them or offering something or a result that is enticing enough or solving a painful enough problem that the prospect is facing today. If that is the case, then you need to just rework your offer to solve an actual pain point that they care about. You're selling something that nobody wants to buy, then no amount of deliverability, no amount of targeting is ever really going to fix that. So you really need to just make sure that your offer is dialed in. Assuming you validated your offer and all is well with that, then you want to make sure that your targeting is right. So in terms of targeting, you have your ideal customer profile and you want to be reaching out to folks in that core segment. Now, oftentimes, if you're using just the main data providers like Apollo or ZoomInfo, and you're just using their basic filtering mechanisms, then you're gonna find that some leads will slip through the cracks, meaning they're gonna be bad fits in terms of their title or their role. They're also gonna find some companies that might not necessarily be a good fit. And so that's gonna be a problem. So you need to go back through your list and make sure that everybody is, in fact, who you wanna be targeting with that specific message. Now, we recommend using Clay to make sure that those lists are super, super dialed in. But this is just a way to look at, hey, positive replies are low, then offers targeting, that's going to be your issue. So assuming you have positive replies, people are actually engaging with your lead magnets, but people are not booking in. What does that mean? You likely have a time to lead problem. Let me explain this one with a story. I've been running cold email since 2022 at this point and was having my inbox manager just manually respond to leads as they come through. Ideally, we were getting back to them within that first hour, but she would have to be sitting in the inbox and manually checking it. We ended up setting up a automated Slack notification for all the replies that came through. And so this helped her actually reply to those leads much more quickly. So within 5 minutes, that actually increased our conversion rates from 10% all the way up to 20, 40, 50% conversion rates. What that means is if your response is not front of mind to the prospect, they're not really going to care. So they don't necessarily need to respond. They don't need to get back to you if it's not something they hadn't thought about in a day or even an hour. So if you can get back to them within that first 5 minutes, then that's going to really increase your booking rates. If you're not booking the calls in that you think you should be, based on all of your positive replies, it's likely a result of you don't get back to them fast enough, or you're not sharing enough resources that actually make them want to take a meeting with you. So assuming you're getting back to them quick enough and you're actually booking the calls in, you have low show rates. Typically, this means you have an appointment setting problem. So if you are getting people to say yes, but they're not actually showing up, they're probably forgetting about your call, or they've seen that it's not a valuable call for them. So the way that you do this is we'll set up automated flows through Calendly. We'll set up some manual flows. We'll make sure that they know, hey, do X, Y, Z. Watch this video, review our case studies, check out our socials to get a sense for what we do, and then continue to send them a handful of automated messages before the prospect actually shows up to the call. That alone has helped our clients' conversion rates from book to actually show go from, in some cases, 40, 50% upwards of 80 to 90%. So this is something that is really simple. You just have to set up a couple automations inside of Calendly and it pretty much does the job for you. So these are the main things that you need to do to fix your campaigns. Look at your replies, your positive replies, your booking rates, and your show rates. And if you have all of those dialed in, you will surely be at a lead to meeting ratio of at least 1 to 1,000 and even better. If you have any questions on exactly how to do this, feel free to reach out, book a meeting with me in the link below at levergrowth.io. We have lots of resources I'd be happy to share with you. With that, hope you found some value in this quick video. I will chat with you in the next one.